Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a high-level game of StarCraft 2. Today in the bottom right, spawning as our blue Protoss player playing for Team Liquid, it's going to be Clem. And in the top left as our red Terran player, currently without a team, it's going to be Gumiho. Yes, it indeed is going to be a Protoss versus Terran. This is one of the games from the Home Story Cup, in which Clem decided to play a bunch of games against Terran with his own Protoss. Whether that is because he didn't feel confident in his TVT or because he felt extremely confident in his Protoss versus Terran is for you guys to decide. I'm sure you're all feeling free to speculate about it. We're here on Abyssal Reef, which is a tricky map. A couple of interesting things to note is this general area can be really hard for Protoss to break. You put like a tank over here. Yes, there is a ramp. The Terran still needs to go up, but it's a rough area for sure. You also have a spot over here that often gets used in TVT, where a tank can actually hit these mineral patches. So it's just a couple of things here to keep in mind before we truly get started into this game. So you see Gumiho open up with a double gas opener, double Reaper, Hellion. No, or at least I think it's going to be a Hellion. Usually when there's a second Reaper, the follow-up is going to be a Hellion. It's very rare to see something else, but you know, maybe Gumiho has different plans. No, he doesn't. Adept's actually going to shade across the map, or at least pretend to shade across the map. Second Adept coming out as well as a Twilight Council. I always find this extremely scary. I'm surprised to see Clem do this. Because if you send this bad boy across the map, like, what are we going for here? I guess just a tiny scout. Oh, he's going to cancel the shade. That means he's going to lose this Adept, and he's not going to get anything done with it either. So, not the greatest play in the world. That's just -1 Adept. Second Adept is also moving across right now. This Hellion should not die, but it might. Really poor control there out of Gumiho, who's still going to end up getting this Adept. I mean, this is a fine trade here for Gumiho. 1 Hellion for 2 Adept. He's going to be absolutely happy with it. Especially given the fact that there's no high ground wall. That means that 2 Reapers can jump into the main. If there's no battery there, you can always manage to deal a little bit of damage in that main base. Gumiho now needs to make a decision. Do I go for the main or do I go for the natural? Clem is not defending either of these bases currently. He's kind of in between. Had the Reapers picked the natural, they would have perhaps been capable of dealing more damage. Now they're just going to deal a little bit of damage against the Stalker. If the Stalker had not been in the correct spot, you're going to lose 2-3 workers there for free. So lucky for Clem here in this interaction for sure, who, you know, hasn't had the greatest start. Follow-up is going to be a minor tank push. 4 Marines, 1 tank. This is almost like a TVT, well, it's not almost like a TVT build. This is the exact TVT build that we've seen so often in the past. This used to be probably the most popular TVT build before Cyclones became a bit more common. And it's 4 Marines and a tank, and you usually in TVT you drop on the low ground, you drop the 4 Marines onto the high ground. On this map I already mentioned, you have this tank position, which can be really tricky to deal with as a Protoss player. Or at least, does it? I guess you just need to pull the boys away, which can be frustrating. Take a look here at this range. Puff! Fat shot there on top of the probes. One of these Stalkers is going to end up falling. 3 workers have gone down already. Yeah, there's a lot of mining time that's being lost. At the same time, Reaper starts smacking this Nexus around as well. You have 3 Marines now moving in forward. We're going to get the full-on pickup just as Blink finishes. So Gumiho definitely aware of, you know, what the correct timing to piss off is. And this most definitely was the correct timing to piss off. At the same time, we have more tanks moving towards the middle. Second barracks and eBay going down at the same time. Oh, we have a barracks on the low ground. Also a supply block, by the way, here for Gumiho, which is not quite what you want in life. Get a scan into this base. Gumiho's gonna go back in. Yeah, this is bad news for Clem, who is countering here with his Stalker. He's gonna end up losing a bunch of workers. At the same time, Marine, tank, Viking going across the map. We have a single Viking at home defensively. Gumiho probably is regretting not keeping anything at home. I mean, this could deal some damage for sure, but he is taking quite a bit of damage as well. As Clem cancels one of these depots from building, kills 4 workers and now pisses off back home. That's a bad blink there, loses a Stalker. This is not looking good for Clem, does not have a battery available. He's gonna pull a lot of the boys here as he blinks down, snipes the first tank. Viking Marine can still deal a lot of damage, 10 workers going down, 12 workers and a couple of Stalkers here. That is 38 workers to 32. What do we have defensively? We have a single tank, We have a Viking that's going to go across the map. No new tank on the way quite yet. And only 2 Marines extra in production. Do we have high ground vision with an observer? Yes, we do. Tank can theoretically get... No, it can't. There's only 5 stalkers here. You need 11 shots of a stalker to kill 1 tank. So usually you see people blink in when they have like 6 stalkers. Because then they can double volley. Ooh, I was actually going to move around it. And that's really cute. Now the extra stalkers are showing up as well. Sees this tank on siege. It's going to blink on forward. And now all of a sudden it's actually Gumiho that might be in a little bit of trouble. At the same time, Viking is going to land. We'll get a couple of kills on the other side of the map. New tank is about to show up as well over here. Clem can still blink down or could continue clearing more and more of these SCPs. Viking has killed 5 workers behind all of this as well. But the game has kind of evened out in this awkward manner. Viking will just piss off again. Nice play here out of Gumiho. Really nice play. I appreciate everything he's doing for, you know, for the Terran conglomerate. No +1 yet. Charge does finish up. Gateway count is pathetic here at only 4. We have a couple more on the way. Legit just a couple. 2 more. No Robo Bay. I mean, it's still a rough position for Clem. Sending a bunch of stalkers just randomly across the map. He's going to need to delay the incoming push by a long time as he loses a stalker for free. Observer now planning on moving in forward. Are the first medevacs on the way already? No, they start just now. 43 to 55 workers. This is not a great start here for Clem. Not a great start whatsoever. The extra infrastructure is coming in right now, so it's going to go up to 6 gates, I think. No, 8 gates already, never mind. Okay, it's going to go up to 8 gates. Once that is done, he actually has pretty decent infrastructure. Viking lands once more. Where the hell did this guy come from? I swear he was on the... This is the same guy that was on the right side. So I took the long way around. Patience of an absolute monk. What the hell? Prism now coming in. See what we have. We have a snipe here on Observer. That's something to start with. Combat shield's about to finish up as well. Clem is being super aggressive here. Is this allowed? I mean, he's up 13 workers. He has a surprising high amount of supply as well. Did a good job producing workers. Starts his fort base. Splits his army in an effective manner. He's ready to throw hands here. I'm not sure if that is correct. He's gonna go in with the Zealot drop. He runs in with the main army as well. Dude. He's feeling it. He's absolutely feeling it. You know what would have been cool? If he just ran in here and starts killing workers, like force field to this area. Dude, that would have been banging, wouldn't it? That actually would have been super bad. At the same time, we have this Zealot attack now coming in. It's gonna kill 5 SCVs. There's at least something. Prism stays alive, at least temporarily. Viking's gonna try clearing it, but the Prism teleports out. We still have such a large force here on the map. Clem is being so aggressive. This is really cool if there are no units going around. Like if you have like a double drop over here and it runs into your natural, you're not ready for it. Like a drop over here and it runs into your third and you're not ready for it. You might just lose the game. But I mean, if there's no units going around and you just want a straight up push, having your entire army in the middle is actually pretty freaking cool. Clem's gonna try to fight this battle, and with a Guardian Shield might be capable of doing that. Gets the first mine pretty much for free, and a lot of Zealots here. Blinks him forward. Another big Zealot warp in now running in. A couple of works going on. It's the same Viking. Dude, this guy has 9 freaking kills. How is it even possible? Okay, now he dies. 9 kills on a Viking, though, is an excessive amount. Wait, is that also the Viking that cleared the Prism earlier? Yeah, because there's just 1 Viking total. Dude, that's pretty crazy. Does that die? Yeah, it does. Okay. Prism goes down. A couple of Zealots now moving in. Clem actually in a pretty significant lead, despite the... I was going to say bad early game, but I guess the early game was just weird. Not necessarily bad. I misjudged that. Clem did, and he knows he has some... you know, has a little bit of potential here. He's going to try moving in forward. Doesn't split off any of the Zealots to deal with the SCVs. I think that might just be a mistake. In general, is fairly aggressive here with his army. There's no thermal lens yet on these Colossus. And he's at risk now of kind of getting flanked here from this side. Okay. Gumiho does not dare going too close to this army. This is not a safe area because it's so easily flankable, right? This is not a safe area here whatsoever. I think Gumiho now realizes that as well. He's going to go to the right side with a portion of his army. This is not going to be a winning fight here for Clem for sure. This is a mistake that Terrans make when they play Protoss. They think the Colossus is a good unit, but it ain't. Not when there's this many Marauders out. Clem's just going to get absolutely destroyed here in this battle. Loses his entire force. Did not have a safe retreat whatsoever. Gumiho is still struggling with the health though. As we can see, he has almost no energy remaining on the medevacts. He has an army that is consisting of mainly orange units. And that is not quite what you want. At least, I don't think that's what you want. The British girls tend to disagree. They don't mind looking very orange, but on your Marauders, not as good of a look. Armory now comes in the main base. We don't have a second eBay quite. No Ghost Academy. How the hell did Clem get 77 workers? Yeah, I'm not sure how much is going to matter because this push looks dangerous. There is only 2 Vikings though. This Marauder count is just phenomenal. That is my Crown. Just splitting up the Stalkers, fishing out a little bit of damage. And what he really wants is a stim out of his opponent, right? He just says, hey, why don't you stim a couple of times, buddy? Just do it for me. Dance for me. You little prick. Why don't you dance for me? Gumiho very patient. Now he goes in with a stim, snipes the Colossus and pisses off again. Good trade there for the Gumiho. Takes out 1 or 2 extra Zealots as well. Hardly losing any units. Does end up falling. Both Vikings do end up falling. A couple of mines in the far back as well. Not really participating. I think Gumiho's pushing this too far. I think he is just simply pushing it too far. I would not recommend running in even further. I just don't think he has the health for this. You're not as young as you once were. Not as healthy, you know. Things are starting to crack. You need to wait for extra medevacs. Actually going to get the Caduceus reactor as a result. Increasing that medevac energy regeneration, which is of course so important. So important. For Gumiho. Because he has no energy right now. Usually it's not that important, but he's fairly overstimmed. I wonder if this is a feature of Clem's play or if this is just a bug in Gumiho's code. You know, Clem has been super aggressive this entire time, consistently baiting stims, and maybe in that case you just end up with such a damaged army. So you could say, hey, Clem is playing overly aggressive, but you could also say he's forcing out stims. You know, or maybe both. He is forcing out stims while playing overly aggressive. 76 workers against 57. Clem here sacrifices a Colossus to the gods. This map has some really weird pathing, by the way, and with Colossus it's especially difficult. As once more, we're looking at an army that's just fairly damaged. If he wants to stim again, look at this. Paf! Into the orange. The early orange, late yellow. Vikings are going to try to deal a bit of damage. This could still be a good fight for Clem, by the way. Because a Zealot reinforcement comes in. We have a couple more Stalkers moving forward now as well. Caduceus reactor actually has finished, but these bad boys are still completely without energy, which is painful here to witness. These mine shots, boom, boom. 7 workers going down. It brings it down to 60 to 69 workers in favor of Clem. Gumiho's getting advanced ballistics, +2. He's fighting against a 3-1 army though, so he's down 2 attack upgrades. Yeah, these Colossus, this. Jesus. The pathing on this map is really rough. We saw it a couple of times already where units, you know, they split weird, they don't go where you want them to. It is very, very difficult at times. It really is. Vikings now setting up. Together with the Marauder force to maybe clear this 5th. Oh, another Colossus that's just gonna get sacrificed here. Yes, that's the 2nd one that gets taken out for absolutely free. Very frustrating for Clem. These 2 Colossus now taking the high ground. That's not quite where you want them to be if you're battling. Vikings taking the high ground as well. 2 Zealots going down. +2 finishes up here for Gumiho. Another stim gets used. And Clem take out these medevacs. No, he barely can't. 2 of them stay alive with very little health. First 2 Liberators now coming in. So we have I have no clue what this is. I don't even think Gumiho knew this was going here. It's like a misrally or something. It's like 3 Marauders, 4 Marines and a Viking. It's like the start of a joke without a punchline. 2 Disruptors going out on the map. Planetary Fortress. At the fort, we still no 5th. It's gonna actually add extra barracks first. I'd say get a little bit more cash, buddy. Okay, the problem isn't your infrastructure, the problem is that you have no money. So Clem has managed to get back up to 150 supply. Good upgrades. Sending out a massive Zealot Runway. This could do a lot of damage, by the way. This is gonna do a lot of damage, by the way. Absolutely, look at this. This is serious stuff. At the same time, Clem just needs to stay alive for a little bit longer. Liberator's now moving in forward. We have 3 Colossus. That's a bad Disruptor Shot because it doesn't connect with anything. That's another bad Disruptor Shot because it doesn't connect with anything. This is the 3rd Colossus that gets sacrificed for the greater good. If the greater good is losing this game, then Clem is definitely on the way with the sacrifices. 3rd Disruptor's gonna get sniped before really doing anything. It's the Marine Marauder here. Look at these metavac. It's like minus 3 HP, 27 HP. There's not a whole lot of mining going on the side of Gumiho. We have a Blink Forward, a Sniper Viking loses 2 Stalkers in return. That's not a great trade. DTs though now coming in are going to clear portions of this force. 14 workers going down as well against the Liberators. And the bases stay alive. This was a weird trade. Gumiho's now going to turn these bad boys into Tech Lab. Okay, 2 more with Tech Lab, 1 more with a Reactor. Clem is planning on moving across the map. I'm not recommending that. What I would recommend here is... Well, do we actually need worker production? We're pretty much fully decked out on the bases we're still mining from. Gumiho is actually oversaturated. Yeah, it's gonna fly over to his 5th with an orbital command. Lucky man. He's playing the race that can do that. I'd love for Clem to take out these rocks, by the way. It's getting a sentry. Would love to see an energy or a recharge on it as well. Just get a bit of extra energy. Have we even seen a single ghost this game? No. That is new. This is Gumiho showing that it is possible without the ghost. Is he just forgetting about... No, I don't think he forget about the ghost. No? That's like legit the most important thing. Like forgetting to get in the plane where you're going on a holiday by plane. There with your suitcase just in front of your house. It's like, you might forget your passport, you know, which is also fairly vital, but... You're not going to forget about the part that you have to actually travel to the airport. That's something you are going to be doing. It's the same with the ghost. Like, you don't forget about the ghost. Just I can't imagine it as a Terran. Right now, though, Clem is actually in a pretty good spot again. 68 workers, taking a 6th base. Is fighting against an army that doesn't have ghost in it. Hell yeah. You love to see it. We have an attack here on this barracks. Floop floop. What's the Viking count? None. I mean, Colossus are not brilliant against Marauders, but if you have a lot of Zealots in front of them and there's 0 Vikings, they actually pack quite a punch. And Clem here is abusing that range relatively well. I think Gumiho is in a world of trouble here. He's down 1 upgrade. I mean, that's not the end of the world. Oh, I love this movement though. What? This is a huge army for a single medevac. That's a ballsy split off as well. That is a very ballsy split off. It's gonna take out this 6th base. That is a big deal. Clem would love to have that. Absolutely, Clem would love to have that. Don't even think he's stimmed here because this army is way too healthy. Way too healthy. We're gonna have another split off. All of these Zealots not being controlled here. Can they get a good trade against this Marauder army? The answer is going to be probably not. At the same time, we have this force fighting against a bunch of these Zealots as well. And Zealots actually not getting that close. We need another stim. We will get that stim. We have 3 Colossus pushing out some lasers here. This was a very bad trade overall for Clem. He's down 25 supply all of a sudden. 30 supply, while before he was up, or similar supply numbers. Ay. You have Liberators. Oh, this is such a weird composition. I can't believe how low this army is the entire time. New 6th base gets cancelled. Extra 6th base gets put up. I think Gumiho now is in a pretty significant lead. The only thing still missing is really the Ghost Academy and 3 Ghosts. Like, once you have that, a couple of Vikings in the mix maybe. Dude, he's freaking banging. These 2 barracks haven't really produced a whole lot. Used to be 3, but one of them died. Hate to see it. Ooh, we have DTs coming in as well. No planetaries on this side. Here comes a mine. It's gonna actually hit a DT. That's frustrating for Clem. Can he snipe this turret before the boys show up? Yes, he can snipe the turret, but there's still a scan as well. At the same time, we have Gumiho now moving forward. Liberators casually flying over. The pathing on this map is so tricky to deal with, man. I did not miss that one bit. Liberator sieges up. Ooh, good pickup out of Clem. Very fast responses there. Colossus on the high ground. Once again, this weird angle that you're just fighting in. Disruptor shots actually are going to connect. We still have 4 more Purification Novas available as well. Liberators. Now we're going to be shooting. Look at that. On the left side, these Colossus taking a lot of damage against the Libs. That's 3-4 fat shots there on top of another one and another one and another one. This Colossus is just taking a freaking beating over here. Now we see Clem actually blinking down, but at the same time we had a base being cancelled on the left side. This army is going to get cleaned up, but we still have so much supply here for Gumiho at home. And on the left, we don't have a 6th base for Clem. And if you're even bases against the Terran, it means you're losing, because you're not going to have good trades in the resources lost. It's just not possible. So you're going to need to outmine your opponent. That is just a fact, an absolute fact. And that is despite there being no ghost. That's crazy, no? Imagine how it would look with the ghost. Hate to see it here as a Protoss fan. I guess as long as there's no Templar, maybe you can live without them. Marauders are freaking strong, man. As long as there's no Templar, you can live without them. Is that the logic that Gumiho is going for? This is an army without medevacs, by the way. What the hell is that? He has 4 medevacs total for an army of 4 Marines and 3 Marauders. And he has, what is this? 18 Marauders. And like 15 Marines without a single medevac. Wanting to cancel a base that doesn't exist. Now quickly running back home. I mean, this should be an unlosable game. Like legit an unlosable game for him. Because he's up 70 supply. He has his own 6th base. Of course, one of the bases is the one from the main. But that doesn't make it mine any less. It doesn't really matter how you're getting that cash as long as you're getting it. That's what Gumiho says. 67 supply in favor of Mr. Gumiho. Same time we have an SCV. Oh, I love that. I don't think we see that enough, you know, like late game worker scouts. I think it is underrated. As right now we're going to see a lot of Purification Novas coming in forward. Are not going to kill these Marauders. GG gets called. Gumiho is going to win this game here on Abyssal Reef. Phenomenal play out of him, even without the ghost. And had to make a couple of comebacks in this game because Clem, and he took the lead. We saw him take the lead 2, 3, 4 times and then throw that lead straight out of the window as well, like a seasoned baseball player, but nonetheless, impressive stuff. All right, it's going to be it for me today. If you all enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the like button, and I'll see y'all next time for a new video. Adios.